Hi there. Oh, I'm really glad you came today. I am the book lady, and we read 2 books, and I talk about them. And I think you're going to enjoy these books. They're very different, which is fun. But I chose this one. It's called Way Past Lonely, because I think we all have been there. Have you ever been lonely? And you know, being lonely is not the same as being alone. Look at me, I'm sitting here alone, but I'm not lonely. Actually, I have you right here with me, so that makes it a lot more fun. But we're going to read this Way Past Lonely. Then we'll talk about it. Then look at this crazy book. Giraffes Can't Dance. Oh, yeah? They say I can't dance either, but guess what? I do. We'll talk about that later. All right, here we are. Way Past Lonely by Hallee Adelman. This is a nice book. After Des left for the whole weekend, I didn't know what to do. I think Des is probably her best friend. Kaya couldn't play, neither could Hooper. Even Princess Paws, that's her dog, rushed away. Was everyone busy? Have you ever had a day like that? Everybody's busy. Nobody's around to play. Want to do something, Mom? Oh, 1 second, honey. 1, 2, 3, 4. I waited, and I waited. Hey, can I help, Luke? Yeah, no thanks. Now I really feel lonely. I decided to go to the playground, but it was like I was invisible. I was way past lonely. You know, the kind of lonely that starts like a seed and grows like a weed. She was lonely. Everybody was just busy. Kai pedaled over from next door. Oh, maybe he wants to play. Maybe he'll ask to ride bikes. Kai stopped and stared straight at me. And then he just rode away. I bit my lip. You know, when you bite your lip, it means you're almost going to cry. I hopped on my bike and imagined popping tricks with Des, Kaya, and Hooper all asking, "Will you teach us? Will you teach us?" Mom would be snapping pics, and Princess Paws would be barking at all of us. This is what she's sort of dreaming in her head. The kids from the park would shout, "Macy, come play with us." And we'd all play until the sun set. Have you ever done that? You're playing and having so much fun that you don't want it to get dark because you don't want to go home. I rode off on my own, pushing the pedals real slow. Oh, my loneliness rode with me. Even the sun stayed away. Boy, she is down in the dumps. I stopped by the stream where Des and I always traded rocks and pretended to be queens, and I always laughed out loud. But there was no one to laugh with now. I was the queen of lonely. I pressed a cold rock into the dirt and wrote 4 words. This is no fun. And then I chucked that rock at the water. But it didn't sink. It skipped. Whoa. So I grabbed another. Skip. And another. Skip. I tipped to my toes and smiled. Hey, I felt better. This queen needs a crown, baby. I gathered sticks and weeds and leaves. I sat on my giant throne, swinging my legs and humming in tune with the water. Hey, being alone felt good. Maybe I could be my own friend. Ooh. And do you love that picture? She's sitting on her throne. It's a tree stump. And she made herself a crown. Hey, she's queen. You go, girl. The ducks quacked. I hurried toward them, quacking back, quack, 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 and laughing. I raced the stream to the tall tree and won. Oh, yippee! I saw Dez's note. A big smile stretched across my face. Dez was away, and everyone was busy, but I still had me. And I didn't feel so lonely now. But someone else looked like he was. I pedaled over. Want to teach me some bike tricks? Really? Said Kai. Sure. I cheered Kai on until he was ready for his own crown. Then we rode past Lonely. They look like they are having fun. And we played until the sun set. I just think that's such a nice book because we've all been there. It just happened to be one of those days where all your friends are busy. They're at soccer, they're at gymnastics, they're at piano lessons, they went to visit grandma, they went to the lake. You know, it happens. And there you are on your bicycle thinking, boy, am I lonely. I don't have anyone to play with. But she figured it out, didn't she? She went to the stream and she threw that rock. Have you ever skipped stones? It's really fun. But you got to find the right stone. You want to find one that's not too big, not too heavy, and it's kind of flat. Kind of like a little tiny pancake. And then you throw it a certain way. Oh, some people are so good at it. And I've seen it skip 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it goes in. And it's just so much fun. The biggest part of it is finding the right stones. And you get them and you stack them in a pile. And then you just have fun. And she was just having so much fun as her own best friend. And sometimes we have to be our own best friend. And it's okay. If you like yourself and you figure out something fun to do, it all works out, doesn't it? Way past lonely. And they certainly got way past lonely. All right, now we're going to read Giraffes Can't Dance. Don't you love that giraffe? I love that guy. You know why? You know what I like the best? Of course, I love his fabulous legs, but I like the look on his face. Is he happy or what? He's just very content. Okay, Giles Andreae wrote this. You know how I like the cover pages sometimes? Look at all these giraffes doing all these dance poses. Yes, I think it's funny. All right, here we go. Giraffes Can't Dance. Gerald was a tall giraffe whose neck was long and slim, but his knees were awfully crooked and his legs were rather thin. He was very good at standing still and munching the shoots off trees. Yeah. But when he tried to turn around, he buckled at the knees. Whoops. Oh, dear. He sure did. Now, every year in Africa, they hold the jungle dance, where every single animal turns up to skip and prance. Woohoo! We're going to have the jungle dance. And this year, when the day arrived, poor Gerald felt so sad, because when it came to dancing, he was really bad. The warthogs started waltzing, and the rhinos rock and rolled. The lions danced a tango that was elegant and bold. This picture cracks me up. I love that. Look at the female lion has a rose in her mouth. And look at them go to town. They can dance. The chimps all did the cha-cha-cha with a very Latin feel. And 8 baboons then teamed up for a splendid Scottish reel. Gerald swallowed bravely as he walked toward the floor. But the lions saw him coming, and they soon began to roar. Row! Hey, look at clumsy Gerald, the animals all sneered. Giraffes can't dance, you silly fool. Oh, Gerald, you're so weird. That would make you feel kind of bad. Well, Gerald simply froze up. He was rooted to the spot. Oh, they're right. I'm useless. Oh, I feel like such a clot. So he crept off from the dance floor and he started walking home. Oh, he'd never felt so sad before. So sad and so alone. Then he found a little clearing and he looked up at the sky. Oh, the moon can be so beautiful, he whispered with a sigh.
Excuse me,
Coughed a cricket, who'd seen Gerald earlier on.
but sometimes when you're different, you just need a different song. Oh. Listen to the swaying grass and listen to the trees. Ah, to me, the sweetest music is those branches in the breeze.
So imagine that the lovely moon
is playing just for you. Everything makes music if you really want it to.
And I think this is a sweet picture because Gerald is just closing his eyes and imagining. And there is the locust talking to him, saying, hey, close your eyes and hear the music. You can hear the music. Even when there's no radio and no Bluetooth speaker and no television, you can hear the music. Close your eyes and listen to the trees and the breeze. Oh, yeah. With that, the cricket smiled and picked up his violin. Then Gerald felt his body do the most amazing thing. His hooves, that's his feet, had started shuffling, making circles on the ground. His neck was gently swaying, and his tail was swishing round. Ooh, yeah. Gerald's sort of feeling it. He threw his legs out sideways and he swung them everywhere. Then he did a backward somersault and leapt up in the air. Wow. Gerald felt so wonderful. His mouth was open wide.
I am dancing! Yes, I am dancing!
I am dancing, Gerald cried. Oh, what a great feeling. Then, one by one, each animal who'd been there at the dance arrived while Gerald boogied on and watched him, quite entranced. Do you know what entranced means? It's like this. Wow. They shouted, "It's a miracle! We must be in a dream! Gerald's the best dancer that we've ever seen." Wow. He is good. How did you learn to dance like that? Please, Gerald, tell us how. But Gerald simply twirled around and finished with a bow. Ta-da! Then he raised his head and looked up at the moon and stars above.
We all can dance, he said, when we find music that we love.
Isn't that wonderful? I love this book. This is a wonderful book. And there's a much bigger message here. We can all dance to the music that we love. See, we're all different. And we don't know what makes us move. You know, I'm not much of a dancer. The term they use is 2 left feet. If someone tells you you have 2 left feet, that means you can't dance. You're probably a little bit clumsy. But I like to try to dance, and there's certain songs or certain rhythms that I just feel like dancing. I'm like Gerald. Makes my neck go, yeah. And then you just sort of feel like dancing. But some people know fancy dances. They can waltz. They can tango. They can do the Scottish reel. And see, Gerald didn't know the fancy dances. But that locust told Gerald, just listen to the music around you. Yeah. Come on. Let's listen to the music around us and let's go. Can you go back and forth with me? Let's pretend we're dancing. Put one arm up. Woo! Another arm up. Good. Let's put both arms up. Woo! Jazz hands. See? It's all about what kind of moves you. And it doesn't just mean dancing. You may say, I'm not a good artist. I can't color. I can't paint. I hate to play with clay. But maybe it's because you haven't found the thing you love. Maybe you can play with paint if you're doing it with your hands. Finger painting? Yeah. Maybe you can color as long as you don't have a coloring book, just a big piece of paper. Then you can go crazy. Ooh, I want to add a different color here. Yeah. It's not just what we hear with our ears, but we can hear in here. Yeah. You can hear it. Do you hear it? Do you feel it? Yeah. And for a while, how did Gerald feel when everybody was doing their fancy dances? He felt sad and alone. Well, I think we know how to fix that. And he did fix it the same way Macy did in this book. He went off by himself and he felt alone and sad. And then little tiny locust, which is like a grasshopper, said, listen to the music in your head and in your heart. And this Macy, guess what she did? She threw a rock in the water because she was feeling sad and kind of mad. And she saw it skip. She also heard it skip. Well, she started to have so much fun, and she found out that she could be her own best friend that day. She had so much fun, she made a crown. And she found a throne to sit in. And she was the queen of everything. So sometimes if you can't dance, you can't draw, you can't sing, your friends are all busy, I'm very sad, I'm very lonely. Start listening to a different sound. Listen to your happy song. We all have our happy song. Go to your happy song. And then move and do what makes you happy. And you will be amazed how much better you will feel. I mean, Macy felt so much better. Let's see that picture of her when she's kind of mad. What does she write? With a stone. This is no fun. Boy, she is. That's called stinkin' thinkin'. Stinkin' thinkin'. Don't do stinkin' thinkin', because it'll just make you stink. So she throws that stone in the water. And it skips. Well, guess what? Everything kind of changed. She's feeling a whole lot better, a lot happier. She's not stinking thinking anymore, is she? Yeah. And I think in this book, what's nice is that she spots somebody else who's not having a great day. No one to play with, stinking thinking. And she says, hey, you want me to teach you some bike tricks? Yeah. And they just go off and have a great day until the sun sets. Oh boy, I remember when I was a little girl, we played a game, all the kids in the neighborhood, called Capture the Flag. And the flag was just some piece of white rag. And, you had to run up and grab it, but someone was guarding it. Oh, it was so much fun. And you didn't want the day to end. Now, at my house, my parents had a bell, and they'd ring it, ding, 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 ding. And if you heard the bell, that meant you had to go home. I don't want to go home. I'm having too much fun. And I have wonderful memories of that. And I hope that you enjoyed these two books, and no stinking thinking for any of you. All of you, think of your happy song. I got these books at the library. I love to go to the library. It's a lot of fun because I look for books for you. Now, you can go on YouTube, yes, and you put in The Book Lady, and you will see, hundreds of books that I've read, and we have had so much fun talking about these books. So today it was Way Past Lonely and Giraffes Can't Dance. Yes, they can. Until next time. I do hope that you'll come back. I'm the Book Lady. Bye-bye.